for October 3rd, 2017. I call this meeting to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Kammer?
Here.
Carbonaro? Absent. Daney?
Here.
Gabrenya?
Here.
Hopkins?
Here.
Ranky?
Here.
President Wallace.
Here. We've requested that Pastor Rob Ritacco from the Jesus Journey Church do our invocation this evening, and directly following the invocation, we'll be remaining standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Before we begin this evening, I request that we take a brief moment of silence for all of those that are affected by the tragedy this weekend in Las Vegas. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your presence with all those that were impacted by this senseless tragedy. Continue to be with all of the families of the victims, Lord, and us as a nation for being with each and every one of us as we wade through these times. Lord, thank you for the amazing community in Bartlett, for the strong people of Bartlett, and for the great leadership team that you have put in place. Bless them this evening, Lord, as they govern your great village. Bless those that serve and protect. And Lord, this evening, Lord, bless this meeting, their conversations, and all that needs to be taken care of, Lord. We thank you for all that you do for us as a community, as a people, how you grow us and intend for our prosperity and to be a blessing to those around us. We thank you for all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Ritacco. Next item this evening is our consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda with an asterisk will be considered enacted in one motion. There's no additional discussion on anything on the consent agenda. At this point, is there anything someone would like to add to the consent agenda?
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to add under License and Ordinance Committee, D number 1, creation of a Class A liquor license, Wheaties Restaurant.
Right, but you have to grant that separate.
Yep.
They can pass the ordinance to create it.
Any issues with that?
None.
Okay. Anything else? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to amend the consent agenda to include the following items: the board and committee minutes from September 19, 2017, the bills list from October 3, 2017. The consent will also include under Planning and Zoning Committee this evening, Rana Meal Solutions Economic Incentive Agreement. Also, under Finance and Golf Committee, the consent agenda will include Route 59 and Lake Street property brokerage contract with Sperry Van Ness. Also, under the consent agreement, will be included under License and Ordinance Committee, we'll be adding D1, creation of Class A liquor license for Wheaties Restaurant. The consent will also include under License and Ordinance D2, executive session minutes review. Under Police Works or Public Works Committee, the consent will include invest in Cook IGA for design engineering of West Bartlett Road drainage swale and bike path. And also under Public Works Committee, the consent will include acceptance of public improvements for Elgin Beverage in Blue Heron Business Park.
So moved. Second.
It's moved by Trustee Hopkins, seconded by Trustee Daney. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Hopkins?
Yes.
Ranky?
Yes.
Kammer?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gabrenya?
Yes.
That motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to approve the amended consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Kammer, seconded by Trustee Daney. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Ranky?
Yes.
Kammer?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gabrenya?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
That motion carries. Next item we have on our agenda this evening is the President's report. The first item we have is the 2017 Passport to Adventure winners. With that, I'll turn it over to our history person, Pam, and we'll be handing out some gift awards, I believe, right?
Yes. So good evening, everybody. I'm Pam Rohleder. I'm the director of the Village of Bartlett Museums, and Emma Marston is the museum assistant, and she will be helping President Wallace with our awards. So the Village of Bartlett Museums is proud to announce the top 3 site-going Bartlett families in the 2017 Passport to Adventure program, sponsored by the Kane DuPage Regional Museum Association. We congratulate Axel and Vala Kuntz, who visited all 70 sites, Noah McCarthy, who visited 60 sites, and Michael Trevino, who visited 35 sites, on their amazing accomplishments, their dedication, and certainly their perseverance. This year, the Kane DuPage Regional Museum Association printed 18,000 passports containing 70 participating sites, up 5 from last year. More than 600 passport booklets alone were picked up in Bartlett at the village's 4 participating sites, that being the Bartlett History Museum, the Bartlett Depot Museum, Arts in Bartlett, and the Bartlett Nature Center. Do you know that Bartlett is one of the top distribution communities within the whole program? And we are certainly proud of that fact. And we're also proud that this is the 20th year that we have been participating in this program. And 19 out of 20 years, our top site families have visited all the museums. One year they were 112. And that girl said it was the best she ever had. We combined with another regional museum association to get that number. We combined with a museum group up north. So this year the program was themed Discovering Your Local Treasures. And we bring families in from all over the 2 counties, even beyond our borders, who discover our community of Bartlett and our businesses in our downtown, and also eat at our restaurants. So first up, I'd like to invite Michael Trevino, and to bring your family with you. Come on up here. And Mom, Dawn, and Bobby, they visited 35 sites. So Michael is 6 years old and a student at Liberty Elementary School. And the family are regulars at the Depot Museum, where Michael has a very special chicken waiting for him. Well, not a real chicken, but a wind-up one. You know, live chickens were once common at the Bartlett Depot back in the day when they were delivered by rail and held in the baggage room for farmers to come pick them up. But in the meantime, the children in the town at that time would play with them. This is the family's 2nd year in the program, and this year they returned to their favorite sites and discovered new ones. Mom Dawn says, every morning we would sit down and we would read the book and see what new exciting museums or farms that we would venture to that day. We bonded while making these decisions, and Michael was exciting during our journey to places that he's never been before. But the most exciting part for Michael was the incredible learning and exploring of each and every place we discovered. So Michael, what was your favorite museum this year? Zytec, because of its interactive hands-on activities, which included learning how mountains and dunes were formed. Mom Dawn says it's Michael who's asking to visit and revisit the museums all the time. And when asked if they're going to participate next year, she responded, OMG, of course. So congratulations to Michael. Hey, Noah McCarthy, come on down. Bring your family with you. That'd be great if you'd like to do that, okay? Yeah, we're talking about taking the group shot here. Okay, so meet Noah. He's a 4.5-year-old preschooler at Chicks Crossing Preschool, and he's also a frequent visitor to the Bartlett Museums. Now, he had a very busy summer with his mom, Colleen, and grandmother, Shar, visiting 60 sites. Throughout the years, our museums have seen the increasing role of grandparents' role in site visits. For grandparents who watch or help raise the next generation, the program offers affordable, educational, and importantly, a fun way to bond and create memories that last a lifetime. While driving to the sites with Grandma, wonderful conversations resulted about these experiences, which were later entered into Noah's log. Noah met, and this is Shar's quote, many passionate curators and volunteers, and loved adding each stamp to his passport. Noah, what was your favorite site? You got it, Growy Mill in Oakbrook, because there Noah churned butter, made rock candy, and practiced weaving and more. Grandmother Shar summed it up best when she wrote in an email to me, Noah and I have continued to remain very busy with Passport to Adventure. If you ever need a spokeswoman to sell this program, I could be your girl. Why we miss many an afternoon heading to the pool this summer through the eyes of a 4.5-year-old, Noah has learned in a lot of ways he may not be able to express yet. But the foundation for museum manners, farm chores, and overall appreciation for nature has opened a whole new world to him. I cannot thank you enough for this grandmother-grandson journey. So congratulations to you. Okay, up next, Axel and Vala Kuntz and their parents, Sandy and Jason, and they have visited all 70 sites and the winners of the Mayor's Medallion. Axel and Vala are also frequent visitors to the Bartlett Depot Museum. Their enthusiasm and smiles brighten staff day when they visit. Axel, age 6, is a first grader at Sycamore Trails Elementary School, and Vala, age 4, attends preschool at Streamwood High School. For several years, the family has participated in the Passport program, and in fact, if they look familiar to you, they won the Mayor's Medallion last year, visiting all the sites. So that makes 2 years in a row. So that is a total. We had 65 sites last year, so I can't do the math fast, 135 museums in like 2 summers. Again, this year, Axel and Val look forward to visiting the varied sites. And they do like some more than others, Mom Sandy says, but the kids enjoyed seeing all the new exhibits and activities that most of the museums had to offer, and she's thrilled to see all they have learned. And of course, the kids have their favorites. So Vala, what was your favorite this year? Yeah, the Lazaro Museum of Lapidary Art in Elmhurst. And Axel, you love animals and fossils. And yeah, Jurika Suki at Benedictine University, where they have wonderful taxidermed animals and fossils, everything nature. Visiting 70 museums in 4 months is an adventure no child would do unless it was fun and engaging. Our local institutions in Kane and DuPage counties understand the importance of connecting children and welcoming them to learn. For Sandy and Jason, it gives their family a chance to discover and explore places they didn't even know existed while spending quality time together. So now we're going to ask in front of everyone, are you going for a three-peat? Yeah? Okay, you heard it here first. So in conclusion, families like the Kuntzes, the McCarthys, and the Trevinos have also introduced their friends to the Bartlett Museums, encouraging them and bringing them to participate in museum activities and Passport. We'd like to thank these museum champions for all their help and support and congratulate them all on their wonderful accomplishments. So thank you.
Go that way.
And I just want to have a round of applause for Pam. She's been doing this for 19 years.
That much energy at 7 p.m. Or half that much.
Proclamations I can bring over to the thing so I can read them. I might start having that reading glasses. This is not good.
Can I have that Kleenex over, please?
You gonna shed a tear?
I did already.
No, they get to have more cake, just what they needed.
That's funny.
Next item under the President's report this evening is a proclamation to World Polio Day 2017, near and dear to the hearts of most Rotarians, and there's a few of them in the crowd today, so when I'm done, I'll ask the President of the Bartlett Rotary Club, Mike Musson, to come up and accept the proclamation. Proclamation for World Polio Day 2017. Whereas the Rotary Club of Bartlett is a member of Rotary International, the world's first and still one of its largest nonprofit service organizations, founded in Chicago, Illinois in 1905. And whereas the Rotary motto, "Serve above self," inspires members to provide humanitarian service, encourage high ethical standards, and promote goodwill and peace in the world. And whereas Rotary in 1985 launched Polio Plus and spearheaded the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, which today includes the World Health Organization, U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, UNICEF, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, to immunize all the children of the world against polio. And whereas polio cases have dropped by over 99.9% since 1988, and the world now stands on the threshold of eradicating this dreaded disease and thereby eliminating the threat of polio-caused paralysis to every child in the world. And whereas members of the Rotary Club of Bartlett continue to contribute their time and their resources to support Polio Plus and the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, and whereas their efforts are providing much-needed operational support, medical personnel, laboratory equipment, and educational materials for health workers and parents. Now, therefore, I, Kevin Wallace, President of the Village of Bartlett, do hereby proclaim October 24, 2017, as World Polio Day in Bartlett, and do hereby encourage all residents to join the Rotarians of our local club in the fight for a polio-free world. Dated this 3rd day of October 2017. Next item this evening on the President's report is a proclamation for the 106th National Day of the Republic of China, Taiwan in general. I will be actually attending their celebration on Thursday. There's no one here today, I don't believe, from this to pick up this proclamation, but I'll be attending the event that they have down at, it's too bad, I think it's at the Drake Hotel or something. That's too bad. So I'll be attending that on Thursday and actually handing this over to them, but I'd like to read it into the record for our meeting here this evening. A proclamation recognizing the 106th National Day of Republic of China, Taiwan, in celebration with the Village of Bartlett's Taiwanese community. Whereas the Republic of China, Taiwan celebrates its 106th National Day on October 10, 2017, and whereas the Village of Bartlett has maintained and enjoyed an international sister city relationship with Miaoli City, Taiwan for the past 7 years. And whereas during that time the village, the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Chicago, Arts in Bartlett, and the Midwest Hakka Association have collaborated on many events to promote Taiwanese culture in our community, sharing music, art and photo exhibits, visits, gifts, and lovely conversation, all of which have solidly cemented our friendship. And whereas the people of Taiwan come together on this historic annual holiday with parades, performances, and fireworks to celebrate their accomplishments as a nation, and whereas in the spirit of its warm and harmonious relationship with its Taiwanese sister city, Bartlett shares in our national pride, and your national pride, offers its admiration for your country's achievements and its support for your ongoing health and prosperity. Now, therefore, I, Kevin Wallace, President of the Village of Bartlett, Cook, DuPage, and Kane Counties, do hereby proclaim October 10, 2017, the Republic of China, Taiwan Day in Bartlett, and recognize and celebrate this milestone birthday with our international neighbors in Malawi City and our Taiwanese friends in the Taipei Economic Cultural Office in Chicago and here in the Village of Bartlett. That concludes the President's report. Next item we have this evening is questions from the board. Does anyone have any questions for staff at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to the town hall portion of the meeting. Town hall portion allows someone who would like to address the board to step up to the podium. Please state your name and address for the record and try to keep your comments to 3 minutes. Would anybody like to address the board at this time? We like getting shut on. Unless it's good news.
Just regular news. John Leonardo with Frederick Wood Company. Just very briefly, we forwarded a written report as far as the status of the construction project for the police station. Hopefully you'll have a chance to take a look at it. There's some details in there about what's been going on. But since the last time we talked with you, the sheet piling work is done and the basement for the new police station has been fully excavated. So that's done and we're in the process of installing foundations and footings and everything that go with that, rebar and associated electrical and mechanical components that go with it. So those things are going along well, and we continue to be right where we need to be schedule-wise. So with good weather and the schedule staying progress, meeting our schedule, we're moving right along. So be happy to answer any questions if you have it.
Thanks for being here. Would anyone else like to address the board at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to our standing committee reports. First standing committee report this evening under Planning and Zoning Committee, Chairman Hopkins.
Thank you, President Wallace. We had 3 items on our agenda. A3 was covered under the consent. So A1 is Get Fresh Lot 9N, future Lot 9N1 in the Brewster Creek Business Park. The Plan Commission reviewed this at their September 14th meeting. They recommended approval, and now it's here before us for a vote. So I'll move to approve ordinance 2017-124,
124.
an ordinance approving a site plan for Lot 9N, future Lot 9N1 in the Brewster Creek Business Park for Get Fresh.
Second.
Been moved by Trustee Hopkins, seconded by Trustee Daney. Is there any discussion?
I'd just like to note that it's exciting when a business actually moves into Brewster Creek, but it's even more exciting when one expands. So I appreciate them committed to Bartlett and expanding. So thank you.
Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Kammerer?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gabrenya?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Rinky?
Yes.
That motion carries.
Our next item on our agenda is A2. It is the Rana Meal Solution Plant 2. And that was before the Zoning Board of Appeals at their September 7th meeting. It was at the Plan Commission at the September 14th meeting, and they both recommended approval. So with that, I'll move to approve ordinance 2017-125, an ordinance approving of a preliminary and final PUD plan granting a special use permit for a planned unit development and granting variations for Rana Meal Solution Plant 2.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Hopkins, seconded by Trustee Kammerer. Is there any additional discussion?
No.
Is anyone here from Rana tonight? Sal never comes anymore. He doesn't like us anymore.
He did offer to provide a tour when we wanted to go out
The lasagna line tour?
there. Yeah, that'll be a little while, but.
Yeah.
Any other discussion or questions?
How long will construction be on this project?
This one is at least going to be a year plus. So it's, they hope to have every lasagna cooking the end of 2018.
What's the size of this?
This one is 326,000 square feet.
Wow. I know they made comments about employment. How many employees do you think this is going to bring to the village of Bartlett?
I think it was going to do somewhere around 90 to 120. There's a lot of, there's a couple of shifts, but they have a lot of equipment in there that is very automated. And the one good thing is also they're bringing their offices in there. And I just put the rendering up of the office part of it. And it's going to bring their office staff from Oak Brook out here too.
Wow.
It's quite the mural.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of brass out here now, because this will be their national headquarters, right?
Yes, yes.
Their national headquarters, so. Any other discussion? And I would just add that they just recently joined the Chamber of Commerce, so that it's worth a yes vote right there. For those of you in the audience that don't know, Rana Pasta makes a ton of food out in our business park. All of the pesto that you buy, pesto sauce, Kirkland brand pesto sauce, is made right out here by Rana Pasta. So it's a pretty big ordeal. So we're excited to have them here and excited that they're expanding. If there's no other discussion, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Daney,
Yes.
Cabrera,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes,
Ranky,
Yes.
Camera.
Yes.
The motion carries.
that's all we have under planning and zoning tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Hopkins. Next item we have this evening for standing committee reports is the Building Committee, Chairman Cabrera.
The building committee has no report this evening.
Thank you, Chairman Cabrera. I'm getting so much better at that.
Smoother.
Next item we have is under Finance and Golf Committee, Chairman Daney.
Mr. President, we had one item on the agenda, and that was a consent item. It was Route 59 and Lake Street property brokerage contract with Sperry Van Ness. Nothing else to report.
Thank you, Chairman Daney. Next item under standing committee reports is the License and Ordinance Committee, Chairman Kammerer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Both of our items, 1 and 2, were covered under the consent agenda this evening.
Thank you, Chairman Kammerer. Next item under our standing committee reports this evening is the Police and Health Committee, usually chaired by Chairman Carbonaro, who's absent this evening, but he has nothing on his agenda. Next item under standing committee reports for Public Works Committee, Chairman Ranky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Everything on Public Works was on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Chairman Ranky. That concludes our standing committee reports. Next item we have this evening is new business. Under our new business this evening, we are in the process of filling the prior, where are they going in at, Jim? I think in
We're going the Tipsy Monkey.
Tipsy Monkey. Wheaties is going to be occupying the Tipsy Monkey location. And they have requested and submitted for and filled out all the proper paperwork for a Class A Bartlett liquor license. We created the liquor license during the consent agenda, and do we need to vote on this now? Yeah, and a Class A, I will be, if there's no objections to this, I will be issuing this Class A liquor license to Wheaties Restaurant. I'm not even sure what they serve. Is there another location somewhere, Wheaties?
They're in South Elgin, right at the corner of Route 31 and State
Is there
Street.
anybody from Wheaties here?
Yeah.
Oh,
they're up in-
welcome. Thank you. Usually we have the opportunity to talk to you a little bit, but we just rushed this right through, so this is the first time we've had a chance to see you. And one of the members of our board used to always really strongly suggest that you get involved in the Bartlett Chamber, so we'd love to see you get plugged into the chamber. We have that in our plan. All right, good. Well, if we can do anything else, let us know.
Would they be open to telling us a little bit about what the restaurant's going to
Yeah, you can take a few minutes if you'd like to.
Yeah, we have a location in South Elgin. My dad started that when I was like 15. We've been there for 15 years. My cousin actually has a fruit market in Bartlett, and she kept telling us to come to Bartlett, come to Bartlett. So she was having us look, so we had our realtor also looking in this area, and we found that Tipsy Monkey location. The reason we like kind of rushed it in was because we're buying the building as well.
Okay.
So we needed to like push everything quick to verify if we're gonna be able to purchase it and we get approved by you guys. But yeah, we'll have burgers, gyros, hot dogs, beefs, all the stuff that your doctor will probably tell you not to eat. Then we'll also have salads and Greek chicken, and like our store in South Elgin goes through 150 pounds of gyro a day. And
Euro.
yeah, gyro meat, just the meat.
Excellent.
So
My wife will be very pleased.
with that location, we'll have a patio, it's like 25-person patio. We are gonna have, with the liquor license, like the video gaming machines. But we also own another one in North Aurora too right now called Runaway. Same concept with liquor, food, and the video gaming.
Fantastic. Well, welcome. We really appreciate it, and we're really happy that we could speed this through, and it's a tribute to the staff as quickly as they got it through. And it's always a good thing to see petitioners here when they're actually done with the process and we've never seen them before. So that means we're doing something right, I think. We're pushing it right through, so that's good.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. That is the only item, agenda item under new business. Would anybody like to discuss any other new business?
Yeah, I think there should be one thing we should talk about. It's the Go request page that we have. Typically, when a resident goes to the Go request page and they check the box in the department that they want it to go to, and if they check the mayor or the village trustee, it doesn't actually go to us. It goes to the village administrator. And that's been happening for quite some time now. And I think we talked about over 100 requests per year typically come to the village, the mayor or the board that we don't actually see. So I think it'd be worth talking about how we want to handle this in the future.
Trustee Hopkins brought to my attention that the mayor and board selection gets routed right to the administration office for response. And you don't have the opportunity to review those requests that come in. So he and I were talking about that this afternoon and wanted to get a feel for how you would like us to remedy that. We've already changed the the description to say administration, so people aren't thinking that they're sending things to the board that they're not seeing. We did that this afternoon. But if you would like to see those responses in real time, would you rather have a summary report?
Yes.
The system can generate that as well. And I can send those to you on, I can put them with the 5 so that you see them on a weekly basis or, whatever you would like.
I think there definitely should be an option on the Go request page for residents to contact us. I think it's an easy way for them to reach out to us.
I think what I would like to do is I would like to see if Chris can take that and route it to your emails so that you see them that way, rather than through the Go request system, which is a little more cumbersome, and if you respond and it won't let you respond, and it'll be, like, I sent something to the chief the other day and he rerouted it, but then he couldn't get back into it, and so hopefully we can add a mayor and board and then send it right to your emails. And that
Before we get ahead of ourselves, is there anybody else in the board that wants this to happen?
No, well, I have some reservations because of the inherent possibilities of non-reply by the board members. And I certainly don't, I want to be contacted by residents anytime they want to talk to me. I'm absolutely available. but I want them to be responded to, and I don't want an email to come to all the board, and then we don't know who responded to that, and who did or who didn't, and was I supposed to? I think there's inherent difficulties in that whole process. So
agree.
I have some issues with that. Plus, I'd prefer that the staff kind of sort things out too. Certainly here again, I have no problems. Anytime a resident wants to talk to me, I'm more than happy to talk to them. But there's a process here that I think has been working.
I totally agree.
If they think that if a resident thinks they're contacting me, I want to respond to them.
Right.
Because if you email me, I respond. So
Yeah,
however
I think
we
they
can make
fixed
that
it, right?
happen.
You fixed that portion of it?
We did. We switched out the options that they can select and took out mayor and board and put in administration. So that
Administration.
they know where it's actually going.
If they want to come, I mean, I've never had somebody come up to me and say, I've had a hard time finding your email address or a hard time finding your phone number, and I call people back almost within a couple hours.
And do the residents have the opportunity to just select a trustee they want to communicate with?
Not on this, that's not what this
Not on
system is for.
Not on the
this.
go request.
Okay.
I used it one time. It's pretty efficient, actually.
It's very efficient for solving problems, I will tell you that. For responding to residents' concerns, it's very efficient. But what could happen is, a resident uses the system and then they say, hey, Mayor, I sent this in and, you don't know anything about it.
I like the summary idea. I don't want to take any thing away from Trustee Hopkins. I just disagree with the logistics of it. I think I totally agree with Trustee Ranke. If it said, I didn't know that it said board or trustees. If it says that, then we really need to fix that. But it's a tool for residents to say, look, there's a crack in the sidewalk and it's really dangerous. Or look, there's debris over here that's dangerous. I used it for mud jacking, and within 48 hours, I think it was fixed. And they didn't know it was me. They just came, I think it comes in anonymously, doesn't it?
It can.
It can, yeah. So,
How about I put together a summary report that you can see weekly, and I'll send it out with the 5, and we'll see how that works. And then if you feel that it's not meeting your needs, then we can figure out a way that things can come to you directly from that.
is that okay?
Yeah.
I think he brought up the point that he really wanted it fixed because they were assuming that they were,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
I was getting a nasty look from a resident, and I'm like, why am I getting a nasty look? Well, why aren't you replying to me? Sorry.
The resident was responded to, but not, she was expecting a response from
Yeah.
Trustee Hopkins to come, and it came from staff.
Gotcha. Okay. Anything else on that? Any other new business? Questions, answers? I think I just wouldn't mind bringing up at this point that I want to thank the Public Works and Police Department for all their efforts in the Kickstand Classic this year. I think it went off amazingly. I probably rode one more lap than I should have, but it was really a fun time. It was a really good time. I think, do we do like an after race kind of evaluation as to what we might want to tweak next year?
We do a summary recap with the Active Trans team. Police has already put together their report,
We saw that, yeah.
so that was a good synopsis of it, but we'll, come up with what worked, what didn't. That kind of thing. And we'll probably do that in the next couple weeks.
Only one observation, us really slow people that went off late, there weren't as many people left there. So I don't know if we can talk to Active Trans about trying to compact the event a little bit more, so the band's playing to more people. It's a more of a festive kind of an atmosphere when there's more people. I think they like it that way because people filter in and out, and then, you don't get it clogged up, but it seems like, yeah.
What they did this year, and we can even tweak it further, is they held the awards ceremony till a little later so that people would stay around. I think what I heard mostly is that the sun didn't come out, and it was a little chilly after you were riding.
Yeah, that's
already
true.
sweating and drinking a couple beers and cold water, and people were leaving,
It
but,
helped out the business at O'Hare's, though.
yeah, Bill O'Hare's did
And
well.
Red Tiki or the other place, yeah.
Yeah, so, but we'll wrap it up with them in a couple weeks.
Good. But I thought it was an excellent event, and a lot of work putting into getting more volunteers. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't recognize BAPS. They had over 50 volunteers they brought out, which was amazing. They all got together afterwards, and we had some pictures with that, so we should get a copy of that.
Yeah, and they were awesome. I was thinking maybe it would be nice if we could do a resolution thanking those volunteers. We also had a big turnout from the high school as well.
Yes, those kids were tearing down tables, and
Yeah,
the
so,
Rotary came out with coffee and donuts, about 400 chocolate donuts, what every rider really needs before they take a ride is a chocolate donut.
and made all the coffee.
Yes,
Made all the
and they were giving it away.
Yeah.
There's something wrong, where's Mike Musson at? There's something
They
wrong
were
with that
selling,
business
no, they were
plan.
selling them.
There was-
Oh, no, it was a
So
dollar.
it's the donation only.
No, it was a dollar.
Oh, a dollar for
Dollar
donut
the
and dollar for
dollar
coffee.
the
They
donuts.
were carrying the thing around and Helen was giving them away.
I think it was $1. Maybe at the end, they were moving them. They didn't want to take them home.
She had 400 donuts.
Jewel only charged us like 22 cents a donut.
Yeah, we should add Joel to that, too.
I say us, I mean Rotary.
Hey, Jim, we could lobby for the T-shirts we had the first year as opposed to the second year.
Yeah, I like those better,
Yeah.
right?
That was their T-shirt selection. That was one of the comments that some of the raisers had.
Yeah, the long sleeve T-shirt, the polyester ones were really nice the first year.
I like these, though. These are a decent shirt.
Yeah, they were nice looking.
And all of the staff that came in, there's a lot of staff I see back there that was helping out at booths and stuff, Roberta and some of the other people back there. Thank you all. It's really a fun time. Nothing like getting up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning, right? At 4 o'clock for Scott. Deputy Chief Callis told me he was up there at 3:45 with donuts and coffee. That's great. That makes it a really smooth running event, so thank you all. Anything else? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Moved by trustee Camer, seconded by trustee Hopkins. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Camer,
Yes?
Daney,
Yes.
Cabrera,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Ranky.
Yes.
We are adjourned.